I started glass formally as a postgraduate student in the US in the early 1970s at Alfred University, which is in upstate New York. Alfred, the name is after King Alfred. And I went there because they offered courses in glass. And initially I studied glass blowing. That is, the blowpipe, getting glass out of a furnace. I did that for maybe 10 years, and by that time I was teaching glass blowing in a university in Australia, and the need came for me to learn some kiln working. And so I did a little bit of kiln working, and I found after a while it really suited me because my intent is to be a sculptor rather than be a maker of vessels or a craftsperson. Although of course that's a large part of the activity, that's where one acquires skills. So having the intent to be a sculptor, I got more and more involved in kiln working, which is a bit more like ceramics. You put the material into the kiln at room temperature, you heat it until it does what you want it to do, and you cool it back to room temperature. So that's the main technique I use. I still occasionally go back to glass blowing, and if I do that, I work with a team to make works I couldn't make by myself. And I occasionally do some casting, and occasionally do some etching, and occasionally do some painting onto glass. But my main technique is kiln forming, and that's where most of my work resides. Most of my work comes from having an idea and then trying to find a way to get an image that will express that idea. Now sometimes that's evident in the work because the work has a political theme or a socio-political theme. Often it's not evident to anyone apart from me. But it starts with an idea, and then I look for an image that might carry that idea, and then I look for a technique that will allow the image to be made. That's not the case with everyone. Some people start with a technique, some people start with the image. But for me it's the idea of the work that's the starting point. I don't draw very much, but I imagine a lot. So I spend a lot of time thinking if I did this and I did that, it would look like this, and if I did something else that would cause this change and that change. So it's a very long process really, and you might start doing this several years before you actually start making a piece, as you try to figure out what you would do. Glass working is not like painting in many ways. In painting, you get some paint, you put it on the canvas, and there it is, you can see it. In this type of glass working in the kiln, although you can see what you're doing, it's going to be very changed after it's been through the firing process. So there's a lot of prediction. If I do this, this might happen, and so you think through that. Well, if I did it at a higher temperature, what else would happen? If I did it more quickly, if I did it more slowly, what else is going to happen? So there's for me, there's lots of thinking about what it is I'm trying to achieve before I actually start. And then having started, the process is to react to what you've got. There's the exciting moments when you start, and it's like having a blank canvas. You've got this perfectly white blank canvas and you're putting something on it. That's exciting. It's exciting when you put it in the kiln and think, I know what's going to happen, but I hope there's a bit of a surprise. And you open the kiln and that's better than I planned. That's really exciting. I think the thing I enjoy most about it though is writing a list for the exhibition, saying number one is this, number two is that. It means it's all finished, it's all there, because it's a grinding effort to get enough work to make an exhibition. To have it all finished, that's the exciting part. The thing which I've been most inspired by is socio-political events, and that's evident in some of the work very clearly, and it's not evident in other work.